but I'm never late. Shalom, Yasharala, Kwame Yasharala, Yabra Kwame Yabra.
Okay.
Con. So I'm actually considering let me do this real quick. Let me give an introduction. Yabaraka Kami Hawa Basham Hamashiach Hawsha Za'akam Khara Wotazaya Ban Yasha Allah, and of course, as always, we back at it like Torah addicts out of rehab. So today I'm gonna pull up specifically this week's Torah portion. I gotta say, I know that we said we was gonna start at 11, but then I was ministering. And in the process of ministering, I did like King Solomon did. I believe so. I called on the spirit of wisdom. I called on Haroach Chachma. And it was so cool because the encouragement that was given to King Solomon is still to this day given to us. When you read Wisdom of Solomon chapter 7, you find out the attributes of wisdom are 1200% feminine. So when people talk about the feminine goddess and all this other stuff, well, from the Hebrew perspective, we don't really do the goddess thing, but there is 1200%. Gotta tell you in case you've never heard this, Yashua, and bear with me. There is a spirit whose name is Chakmah. Chakmah is not easy to pronounce. Chakmah is the pronunciation of wisdom in Paleo Hebrew. Some people say Chokma, but Chakmah is a breathing. She's hard to pronounce, just like she's hard to understand. But once you get her, she's comfortable, she's sweet. She might make you feel a little bit uncomfortable at first, but if you bear with her, her rewards will be like chains of purple and gold. So, brothers, I want to encourage you. If the Most High sends you, a minister, and if the Most High sends you a spirit of shalom, I want to encourage you. Compare all things to the scriptures. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7. Write that down. Document. The Most High said that he looked for wisdom. He called upon the Most High. He asked the Most High for wisdom. Spirit of wisdom, spirit of chakmah, through the spirit of a woman, said to me, well, you asked for, and it might not have been. In fact, I said, hey, Dios míos, this is so true. So we're going to pull up our Bayman brothers. All right, we're going to pull up our study music real quick. All right. Bayman brothers, memories of summer as a child. All right. So we're going to pull up our study music, and I have one more thing I want to do before we get started. All right. I got to absolutely send up some supplications to the Most High. I want to say, Tawada, Abanawa Yahweh, Bahasham, Hamashiach Yahweh. Thank you, our Father, Yahweh, in the name of the Son, Yahweh Shai, who all of the prophets, Moses, Isaiah, Ezekiel, Jeremiah, Hosea, all of the prophets prophesied about, even from the prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Yahweh, you spoke your word that in the last days your children would rise up and be as bold as lions, and that there would be a generation that would face and seek you towards the east. Isaiah prophesied that we would call ourselves by our own name in the last days. The Wadi Yahweh, everything you've done, everything you're still doing. Babu Kashad Nathan, please give to us Atar wa Chakma, the spirit of wisdom, wa Nathan, call it the Amar Nawa, to say all that you tell us. Walamad Kal Hayaladyam, and learn all of the children Atatawara by Labka, the Torah in their hearts. Hasham Hamashiach Yahweh. And thank you for the spirit of humility and submission. Dwyer, I pray that you break the hard spirit off of the hearts of men. Yahweh, please break our stony hearts and give us a heart of flesh again, so that we can be in sync with you. Hashem, Mashiach Yahushua, and your word will be glorified. It's beautiful. There's a spirit. The spirit is called wisdom. So we're streaming live now. We're on YouTube. If anybody would like to join us, Isaiah Yasha Allah. All right, so let's go ahead and get it. Akwaf, Shalom. Shalom, Akwaf. Yahweh Shemar Latar. All right. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and bring it forward. All right. And if anybody would like to build, I'm going to bring up the conference call number 2. So if anybody would like to participate in the conference call number, we'll bring that up. But that also means that I'll have to use my phone for the conference call number. So I learned from, again, Haroah Chachma, the spirit of wisdom, that any procrastination really just comes up on ourselves. And I already knew it. It sucked to hear. But, oh, man, was it so sweet. It was like bitter to my belly, but it tasted sweet. It was like, oh, this is sweet. I was like, oh, man. But that bitterness usually brings healing. All right. So just like when we're looking at, our botany. So salute to all of our mashpachai and my families who are involved that are teaching, foraging to the Eladian. Watch out for those specific colored plants. Know which ones are healthy, which ones are not. Also, if you need help within the East Indian Vedas, you can find specific and well-pronounced botany information from the ages. 1200%. No New Age information. New Age is cool, but if I really want to know something, I'm going to ask your parents. I'm not going to ask your child. So with that being said, go and learn what did the people from India, which are the tribe of the sons of Shem from the bloodline of Elam, one of the oldest races on the planet, are the East Indians. So therefore, if you want to learn about botany, go and check out their Vedas. All right. Also, there's a book called Isidore Seville's Etymologies and Natural Historiae. All right. So everything from Cannabasi to your common, birch tree. So if you need help with that, I can help share with the links, and we have the books with us. So call me Asharala, Yabrakam Yabashim Ashar. Let's get it. This week's Torah portion recap. So we got Jeremiah. Please say the Yah. Make sure you say the Yah when you say his name. What time are we doing it? We live now, sucker. We live now, sucker. Where you at? Man, hold on. Boy, I'm hotter than fish grease at you right now. All somebody got to do is just tip the kettle. Boy, you got to be careful around these parts. You supposed to be dealing with me. You got me out here scrambling and rambling, throwing around one-sided dice. Come on, where you at? You supposed to be pulled up. Man, you going off. Talk about what time are you doing it. I'm doing it now. All right, so we love you, Jeremiah. Please say the Yah. Make sure you rock with us. I'm going to send you the link if you want to join live. All right, shalom. Call me out, Charlotte. Look, bro. All right, Mr. Please say the Yah. Jeremiah, the elder of House of Redeemed Servants. All right. Salute to the elder, man, and to all of those that salute to all of those that, sacrifice their lives for this truth. A lot of underdogs is out here. If you're fighting a good fight and you're reaching the ones that, the celebrities don't see. All right. So salute to all of you. Call me Australia. And to all of you Amin, man. We love you mothers, man. Can't do it without you. Don't get me started on the Amin, man. I get crazy. Somebody light a candle for the mothers, boy. We love y'all. Call me Australia. First teachers of mothers. Who you think taught King Solomon? Wisdom taught King Solomon, which is the spirit of a woman. Booyah. Then his mother, Proverbs 31, busted in the room. What, my son? What, the son of my womb? What, the son of my vows? Y'all thought that was a poem? No, she walked in the room snapping on him because he was asleep all day. He was hugged up with his woman, and she kept him enchanted in the bed. He didn't open the tabernacle door so everybody can go do the praises. Proverbs chapter 31 is a mother snapping on the son, correcting him. And then she comforted him in the end. Oh, it's so sweet. But then it's bitter in the belly. But if you can handle it, the reward is priceless. Priceless. Wisdom is priceless. All right, so let's get to it. Start our screen share. And we're going to send out to Jeremiah while we wait for our mashpachai. My family to climb on up in here. Y'all climb on up in here, as Malachi Maccabee used to say. All right, salute to Malachi Maccabee. Pray for Yaki Hickman, man. Pray the Most High bring him back to the truth by showing my Get off of that witchcraft, my guy. Get off of that sorcery. All right, many Simon Magus's. I will not stop speaking against my brother until we embrace each other again. You went off. All right. So salute Malachi Maccabee. You went off too, brother. We still love you, man. Right. Let's get this link up in here. And yeah, I appreciate that. No, the camp. I'm glad you said that. I appreciate your comment. So what we got is camps. So camps. Tell me about camps. What is a camp? Anybody? Camp. You got the camp of this, IUIC. What else you got? Ambassadors of Christ, AOC. Salute to Zaquan Hashar. Love you, boy. Love you, Elder. All right. You got Marshal Yashar Allah. You got E37, Army of Israel. GOCC. I mean, we can just keep going. I mean, House of Israel. Camp. But the issue is that you weren't correctly taught. So now we're going to learn about camp today, because this week's Torah portion was all about the nationality of Jacob's children, which was called camp as a total. Still operating under the Willie Lynch mentality. You Negroes went from Christianity to gang banging to becoming Yashar Aliyam Israelites. The scripture says wisdom puffeth up a man. So you found out you was a Hebrew. Maybe you became an officer, an elder. You learned a few scripture worlds. And you got puffed up. You forgot humility. Well, I did too. So most I knocked me down real nice. Over here, ashy on the Isle of Patmos, boy, feeling good drinking this coconut water. But the most I need to do, he does that to us. We need it. All right. So once you find out, boom, now you become a separatist, because you're hearing other people's ideologies instead of being yourself, instead of depending on the Most High. What did Malak Shalamah do? King Solomon. Let's get it real quick. 1 Kings chapter 8. 1 Kings chapter 8, KJV, Blue Letter Bible. All right, so we're streaming live right now at the water, Isaiah Yashar Allah YouTube. Now, I should send, you know what? Let's send this link over to Facebook too, because I didn't let our Facebook, I didn't let our Facebook families know. So I apologize for that. It's a lot. So let's go ahead and send this over. All right, now this link that we're going to share over, this is also if you want to join in live. All right. So, yeah, sucker. Let me send this link to you now, sucker. Here thou goest, worlds. All right. So that's sent to Elder Jeremiah. Please say the all right. But I'm also going to put it on my Facebook. All right, Isaiah Yasharala. All right. So let's put it here. And then if you choose to, you can rock with us on here. All right. Now remember, the way the Shabbat works is not a class. The Shabbat is not a segment. The Shabbat is a day, which shows you how the children of Israel still got the same mentality as we had back then. We would say, when would the new moon and the Sabbath be over, that we may buy and sell corn and oil, and that we may make the ephod small and the measure great? Negroes still want to sin. Niggas would rather be slaves than be free on the Shabbat. So we still got the same mentality. We still got the same mentality as we had then, as we do now, which is a better proof that we are the children of Israel. Because I'm going to tell you what, the Gentiles love keeping the Shabbat. The Gentiles love studying the Torah portion. I've been around them. I've lived in their communities. I've been to their synagogues, sat with their rabbis. Their sons have sat and learned with our mashpachah. They love keeping our customs. You know who hates keeping our customs? The people who it was given to. Same reason why we were sold into slavery and captivity, the same reason we still getting abused today. I don't have to ask questions when the Most High already gave answers. So I want to say, so here's the link. All right. Let's build. We're going to wait for our Mashpachayim to climb on up in here. And matter of fact, I think we're going to go ahead and start a live video. I wonder if we can do that. I wonder if I can do 2 lives. I need 2 devices. Yo, all right, so real quick, is there anybody that can help me with my social media? I got some stuff jammed up. If you know me, you already know how we've been rocking from this side to that side. So all of those things are now jammed up on the Isaiah Yasharala email. So if you, like I put on my post, hey, look, I got 45, I got, 85 for somebody to come over and do dishes. Y'all think I be playing Kwame Yasharala, man? That's called employing your own people. What you thought? I mean, what's this gas money? Come on, let's build. Build as a nation. You'll do it for the white man. You'll do it for the white man, Kwame Yasharala. You might get over here and find a blessing. We've been doing this for years. So if somebody in Yasharala knows any IT, if you know how to work emails, all that other stuff, it's time for us to go ahead and do this next part. All right. So Bill with me, hit me on the side. Y'all know what it is. Call me Asherala. All right. So this week's Torah portion was all about camps, which it blew my mind to sit on the sideline, to lay on my couch, and to watch how quiet Negroes are. Every form of separatism that Yasha Allah can find, Yasha Allah will produce and operate in. But the Mormons, the Seventh-day Adventists, they do better than the so-called Negroes at gathering together just to worship God, and they ain't even doing it the right way. Not trying to be funny, but the scripture says that they would say, surely we have inherited lies from our fathers. So the same people that the law, statutes, commandments, and judgments were given to are the hardest people to get together to gather just to rest. Just to rest? You're so arrested you don't want to rest, and I can't contest it. You've been given the laws by the best, but it seems that your mind state is congested. I don't know. Shalom, Yahweh Shemar Lathah. All right, let's ask tonight what kind of line. Yahweh Shemar Lathah. All right, Shabbat Shalom to the sister that just joined. We got the spirit. We got another mother, because we salute the daughters of Yasharallah. Salute to the family. Salute to the brothers, man. I want to say Shalom. All right, I got your microphone muted right now. Yahweh Shemar Lathah. We're going to be going over the spirit of Chachma, the spirit of wisdom. We're going to be going over this week's Torah portion. We're going to need readers. I'm getting older. I can't see as good as I used to. Got 2 pair of glasses, don't know where either one of them at. It's my own accountability, but at the same time, they could be mixed up with, whoopie. I don't like excuses. So the point is, if you would like to read, that would be a blessing. I sent out this link to the Mashvachayim. I sent out this link throughout our families. We're looking for this week's understanding. And this is what I sing. Shalom Labanyam, Shalom Banyam, Shalom Yabrakam Yabashim. The camera's over here. All right, Shalom Makal Hayaladium to all the children of Israel. We salute and encourage, and we say, Yahweh Bahasham, Hamashiach, Hawashai, Brakatho. God, in the name of the Messiah, Hawashai, bless y'all. Bless you, children, you picnic them, because next, y'all gonna be the elders. Y'all growl. Shalom. Shalom. Yabrakaya Bashamashiach, Hawashai. Shalom. Let me you growl. Oh, that was a good one. Kwame Asherala. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that all of the Yaladium, that all of the children depicting them, that they are learning from their Amayim, that they're learning from their Abayim, that they're learning and listening. No matter why. Why? Because you have to learn from your Abba and your Amma. Yahweh said, honor your fathers and your mothers that your days may be long. Now your Amayim are your aunties, your grandmothers. They're special. Your Ammas are Kwani. They're Amayim. But they're also the Amayim that are directly around you, that are helping you. So make sure that you respect your school teachers, because those are your Amayim. Make sure that you honor your big sisters, your Gadal Akwatian, because those are your Amayim. And if you're not honoring them, then you're not honoring your Hawa, and you're not honoring your Abba and your Amma. So be good pitting them so your Hawa can bless you. All right? So let's look at this real quick. We're going to start this. Our people as a nation have to know what the details are on word play. Say like the word camp. You're going to hear the word camp a lot. So I found out I'm Hebrew Israelite. Woohoo. Now what? Well, now you return to your law, statutes, commandments, your culture. You believe in the God of your grandfathers. You believe in the prophecies. And you follow the protocol that gets you to what? To his grace, which is no longer animal sacrifice. So let me say this. We are the only nationality that is in the world that learned the law, statutes, commandments, judgments. And through this, we receive grace from our mistakes by bloodshed. We are not a nation that believes in being what's called ta'ma'ah. We don't believe in being unclean. So therefore, whenever we made mistakes, we will correct ourselves through our God. And instead of getting a whooping, because if Yahweh slaps you, your soul just might leave your body. See, if I slap a person, I could break their neck. If I slap a child, I could leave a bruise. If I slap a woman, I definitely leave a bruise. If Yahweh slaps a man, he can knock your soul out your body. So the point of saying the comparison is that physical and spiritual are two different things. So the Most High is who we should fear. All right, his judgments are true, his judgments are real. So what we should do is be respectful of all parentings, and the Most High is the highest of all parents. So we're going to start this screen share real quick so everybody can see. Shalom Lakad to the Mashpachayim coming in. Since you are watching, since you're viewing with us, the biggest thing that you can do is share out. All right, we do this for show. We don't do this for a show. We do this for show. All right. So let's get to the Torah portion reading because all of the speaking is cool and fun and all that stuff. But let's start learning. All right. We start learning. And if we have anyone that's a reader that would like to come forward, Baba Kushai Shah, please do. All right. And I'm going to start our screen share. Quick update. The corona mass ejections of the sun are giving out what are called X and M flares. These are terrifying flares that are sending chunks of the sun away from the sun. So imagine if you had a scab on your arm and your scab came off and there was raw flesh up under that. Well, that's what's happening to the sun right now. So there's a real quick update. There's a lot more to it. I pray everybody takes time to look at it. All you have to look at, just Google solar mass ejections. All right. I'm sorry, I can't take phone calls right now, but we're on live. But I think we're going to have to clear up this line for the conference call. So if you would like to, rock with us on YouTube. If you're listening, if you're on the phone, you can join us. I'm not on Facebook right now because I didn't stream Facebook. But share the Facebook if you all can. Let's start this StreamYard, this live share. Boom. So there's our screen share. So you should be able to see that. All right, Tawada. All right, we got Yashar. We got Yedamaya. All right, so we got the Eladiamon. All right. And you should be able to see. So let's get this conference call number started. I'm going to say Yahweh Shamar Alatan. Now, before I get off the phone, let me give a quick address. This phone will be used, if you're watching on live, you already know how we do. So this phone will be used for the conference call number. If I put that up there, or when we put that up there, we want the Mashpachayim, the families, to share, no matter why. So you can help others to hear. All right. So I'm going to say Shalom Lakam, Yahweh Shema Alatan. Most I watch you, watch over you, bless you, keep you, and make his space to shine upon you. All right. Shalom Lakam, Kwame Shalom. All right. So let's get this conference call started. That was very encouraging because this day started off with ministry. And I wanted to start this day around 11, but what happened was we were having ministry all day. All right. Nope. Can't do any calls. So now I don't have the conference call number. Kanai, since I know that you're on right here, right there, would you mind putting the conference call number up here? All right, that would be a blessing to help. So then let's do this too. Now we are in. All right, so it's official. We are set up. All right, so we're live. So if anybody would like to assist, help. I talked to Jeremiah. Please say the Yah. He asked what time we're doing it. I won't be able to do a lot of messages back and forth, and we're going to open up the conference call for if anybody would like to join. So can somebody please post the conference call number in here, and then if you do, then you'll be able to be on the conference call too. Shalom. All right, there's that. All right, so let's get to it real quick. I'm gonna share this out also. Invite. I'm gonna invite this guest. I'm gonna copy this link. Hey, Kanai, do you have the conference call number? If you do, will you put the conference call number here, Baba Kusha? All right. And again, here's this. Paste. Booyah. All right. So if anybody would like to join, there's the link to join. Okay. And then we're going to go down here to our combo worlds. All right. Oh, there we go. All right. Okay, Thor, you said you're looking. Okay, appreciate that. All right. So, Redeemer's love. Let's see what's going on. I should just share my whole screen so everybody can see what's. Let's share this screen instead. All right. So we over here. See, can y'all see that? All right. So we on this screen now. So let's see what's going on. All right. Doing it. Yeah. What time you doing it? Boy, I'm hot. Boy, you better be careful around these parts. You supposed to be here with me. You got me out here scrambling and rambling. That's funny. All right, so we're trying to get Jeremiah. Please say to y'all on. All right, so we'll wait for him, and then we have official classroom. So up under this video, all right. So the water Genesis. All right, so we on live now. All right, so let's see. All right, let's man, I want to call him, but then it's like that's gonna take up the audio. Let me see. All right. Oh, it didn't pop up over here. Yeah, it did. Live now, Camp Bang. All right, so let's go ahead and get to it. I'm gonna shut this down. Because I found out something. You should just do what you're supposed to do. All right, so let's get to it. All right, all praise. There we go. There we go. All praise. So let's open this up and let's select all that. Boom. Oh man, I'm messing up, man. Can I copy it? Pop out chat. I don't want to pop out chat. What? You can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up. You can't. Ya brakaya basha masha shalom Marwan. We on live right now, all right? So you on live with me. I just was like, you can't make this stuff up, man. Like it's a billion things happening at once. And like I was talking to the sisters. Well, I was talking to a bunch of sisters actually. And I was like, yeah, I need a helpmate. I need like small stuff done for me. They was like, do it yourself. I was like, it ain't you. It ain't you. So yeah, so we on live. What's the word, good sir? Nah, it's all good. Let's check in a little bit later, man, if you don't mind. I mean, you know how that goes. All right. I'm gonna stop this conference call, man. You want to build with us? We about to get on this camp banging. This week's Torah portion. All right, for sure. All right, we on YouTube right now. Hey, biggest thing you can do is if you can help, share it out, brother. Help the people to learn. All right, shalom, King. All right, so the water, that was our Achaziah from Memphis, Tennessee, man. Love the brother, powerful brother, dynamic brother, man. You know what I'm saying? We all men. We're just, listen, we're all men just trying to learn the Most High's ways. And like my elder said to me, I'm just a nigga trying to stay out of hell. You know what I'm saying? Now, that might not make sense to some people, and it might sound kind of harsh, but at the end of the day, I'm just a man trying to stay out of hell. I'm just a man trying to stay out of the lake of fire. You know what I'm saying? I choose to do right. I want to do right. You know what I'm saying? It seems like when we apply for right, you know what I'm saying, we get that oppression, we get that affliction that comes up against us. So, you know, just keep striving, sisters, brothers. And I believe the Most High, he'll help us to endure. I might have to turn this off because these messengers keep popping up. Let me see. Let me go ahead and mute this. Let's mute this one out. All right. So let's get to it. This week's Torah portion. This week's Torah portion, I'm not going to go through the whole thing. And the only reason I'm not going to go through the whole thing is because we had class yesterday, and the class even. Hey, I'm live right now. Even though we didn't have the teacher, we still have the teaching. So the teaching doesn't go away. And that's what I've noticed, that there are people that will literally don't do nothing because nothing's being done. And I hate that with a passion, You mean to tell me you won't do nothing because nothing's being done? And that's like the weakest link, and I hate that. And the reason being is because whenever we have coming together and we have to all pull each other and do something else, there's we have to be accountable for each other, because if I'm not gonna move, then that's just not good of me. I'll just say that. So um let's get this call started. All right. So throughout it to everybody. We got a lot of reasons. So I'm not gonna go over the whole thing, but we're gonna go over it. 522-5823. All right, Shalom who just came in. Shalom who just came in. We're gonna copy this. We're gonna call this. I'm gonna push this on our Facebook. Let me go ahead and bring you up in here since you came in. All right. All right. All praise Yahweh. So let me go ahead and mute your mic. All right. Shalom, man. All praise, man. We got friends and families that are joining, man. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and put this up on Facebook. All right. And there's our call-in conference call number. All right. And I'm gonna go ahead and call it myself now. Time management. If I would have did this 2 hours earlier, yeah, nah. Yeah. yeah. That's right. All right, so 522-5823. So if you want to call in and join, the conference call number is 522-5823. So you're gonna hear this. 522-5823. And then after you do that, you want to press. All right, it's the same number every time, so it never fails. It's the same number every time. So now I'll leave the volume down, and as the friends and family join in, then you'll be able to build with us. All right. So Kwame Asherala, which means rise Israel. All right. So it's official. We have it up. We're started. If you would like to, you can send out not only the conference call number, but you can send out this chat head, and you can have your friends, you can have your family, yourself, whatever in here. This is an open platform. It's also a safe place where we won't be doing any abuse to nobody. We won't be doing any verbal abuse. You know what I'm saying? I won't be lashing out and starting a, a campaign against anybody specifically. I'm gonna say some things because I'm a man. I am not a kitten. There's not a razor that touched this head. All right. So I'm not a kitten. I'm a man. I'm a man becoming a man. So I'm gonna speak specifically, but keeping in mind that we have children that's learning with us. All right. So it's a safe place for our community. All right. So the other thing I want to say is that this link is also shared up here. So if anybody that you know, friends and families that would like to join and be on the sideline, when we do have questions, the floor is going to be open. Your microphone can be easily unmuted, and then you'll be able to say, hey, this is my point, X, Y, and Z. This is what I think. I feel like this. This is what I know. And then I yield the floor. And you speaking will give room to somebody else. I believe in not everybody being seen. No face, no case in righteousness. So that's the campaign that we've been doing. Not everybody likes to be front view, and not everybody likes to be displayed, but everybody has something to say. So let's start with this real quick. If you can hear me well, put a 7 in the room. All right, if the sound is good, put a 7 in the room. We don't want to start the reading with, our study music is louder than loud. Let's go ahead and get to it. Numbers chapter Echad. Numbers is the 4th book of our lawgiver, of our legislator. Our lawgiver, our legislator, his name is Masha. His name is Moses. Masha, Moses, was the one that the Most High designated to come through the bloodline of a man whose name was Levi. Levi was the head tribe of the priests, the father of the head tribe of the priests. So since this is who our lawgiver came through, whenever we receive our instructions, yes, we look at what does the world say, what does the nation say, what do they say, but first we see what does my God say, what does the inner I and I tell me? And the inner I and I, Yahweh, Haroah Chadash, the spirit of wisdom, has told me to follow his instructions always, just like a parent with a child. So let's start off real quick. Numbers chapter 1, verse 1, it reads, Wayah Amar Il Masha Bar. And Moses spoke excuse me, and Yahweh spoke unto Moses, Bach Makbar, in the wilderness of Sinai, in the tabernacle of the congregation. Look at this, in the first day of the second month. This is powerful right here in itself because it says on the first day. So on the first day tells us that when this, wow, that just did something for me. I want to see how many times in the scripture is it on the first day, because that can really help us to find a lot of new moon scriptures, which, how many interactions do we have with the Most High on new moon? So what is new moon specifically? New moon is when the sun, earth, and moon all align. It's called inferior conjunction. Inferior conjunction is whenever the light from the sun is being blocked. This is a regular eclipse, and we're so used to overlooking it, we don't pay attention. Where in antiquity times, the watching of the constellations, the looking at the nature of the universe, all these things really matter to us because logic mattered to us back then. So with the incoming of social media, where sodomy, where just the influx of sin, the love of many has waxed cold. So we used to pay a lot more detailed attention to when new moon was. What if new moon specifically, since we know it's a high holy day, we know that new moon is a Shabbat day, we know that new moon is a no work day, it's a feast day. What if that's a day that the Most High opens the portals of heavens to communicate with us, and we've been missing it because we're so enthralled in slavery? What if? Because the point is, Numbers chapter 1, verse 1, on the first day, which is new moon, of the second month in the second year, after they would come out of the land of Egypt, Most High said unto Moses, take ye the sum of the congregation of who? A man whose name was Israel. Take a sum, that means count up, all of the congregation. That word congregation is really important because this is where you're going to get camp from. It's not derivative, but it's synonymous. All right. So if we are a part of the congregation, the camp of the children of Israel, we're not a part of the congregation of the children of Ishmael. I'm not a part of the congregation of the Europeans. Though some of my best friends are white. Hi, guys. Y'all know me. Shalom, Isaiah. Some of my best friends are East Indian. But namaskar. 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 Shukriya bhai. But that's not my camp. Unless they were Israelites that were sold into slavery and captivity in India, now we're of the same congregation. The point of saying such is to say, when we're looking at this, the Most High is specifically talking to who? He's talking to the families. Now, this is why it's so important, because if we read the Torah portion, we can teach our children to look back at our families and how many years, weeks are missed or gone by, and everything happens opposed to me teaching my children their lineage, their heritage. I hate it when the black women take away the children from the fathers, especially when the fathers are neutral. The reason being is because there's a union that's supposed to be the yin and the yang, the black and the white, the up and the down, positive and negative. The Most High has made all things and has made nothing imperfect. He has made all things double and set one against another. So unity is supposed to be in the household so families can be edified. Else were your children unclean, but now they are sanctified. If the unbeliever depart, let them depart. A brother and sister is not in bondage in such a case. Else were your children unclean, but now they're sanctified. The point is, when families stay together, the children of Israel, we learn. Look at this. By the houses of their fathers, with the number of their names, every male by their polls. So my binding, each one of my sons, starting with my oldest bond, starting with Lamadia, all right, then going down to Banyamia, then going down to Zakaria. I'm not Zakaria, Kyler, and then Kyler Judah Z. All right, his name Z. Z is a Shemitic. Is Z is Z and I. It means prince. So it's another way of saying Shar. All right, so it's another way of saying Shar. So hey, I got a prince named Shar. I got a prince named Z. I got two princes. Shar. So wordplay. So you know what I'm saying, going down to Zakaria is next, and then going down to that one prince. And the reason why I say that one prince is because you know what I'm saying, Zaire, you know what I'm saying, but there's two Zaires, you know what I'm saying. I got my Bon Zaire, I have my nephew Zaire, you know what I'm saying. So then we have Jeremiah, and we have Yeshar, and we have Jeremiah, you know what I'm saying. And I don't think I have any more Banyam. I think it's all Benathion. I think it's all daughters, you know what I'm saying, after that. So the point is to say the Most High says, now let's go up from there. You have Abba. So all my Yeladim, my Banyam should know all their Banyam Shamya. They should all know all their sons' names. They should know my name. What is my pedigree? Do you know your name? What does your name mean? You know how tired I am of meeting empty. They're hollow. Hi, my name's Chad. Huh. That's all you got to offer me is a wet handshake and a sound? Nah. Shalom. Hey, shalom. Hey, show me how correct is Banya Sharala, man. One to the Most High, second in brotherhood. Hey, shalom. We start off with introducing to people who we are by our pedigrees. And if you don't know what your pedigree, your nationality is, what makes you think? What makes you think? Your children know it. So children, you have to know how to introduce yourself. Hi, shalom. Shamya, my name, Karawatazaya, Banya Sharala, son of Israel. If I want to go deeper, shalom, hi. Let's read Numbers chapter 1, verse 2 again. Take ye the sum of all the congregation of the Yeladim of Yasha'ala, the children of Israel, after their families, by the houses of their fathers, with the numbers of their names, every male by his poll. These women are on their menstrual cycles. The sons are up under smelling them. They're unclean, and the sons should be with the fathers. A woman said to me the other day, a boy learning to pee outside. I didn't even hear nothing else she said. I cut it off right there. Her speech was so degrading towards her own child. I didn't even respond. I didn't. The sons are the seeds, just like the daughters are the seeds of the fathers. And the way that the system has been set up, when I say the system, I not only mean the United Snakes of America. And salute to President Trump, who has given all of us Hebrews the freedom of speech. But here's the thing: you got to be careful because now they're trying to take away freedom of speech. So you got to strike while the iron's hot. So President Trump, hey, Most High is giving us freedom of speech. But since President Trump, Most High says, follow the laws of the land, right? So let's use it. So you got a lot of punks and faggots in Israel. And with that being said, a lot of them are teaching our women and our children wrong. You have a lot of submissive men that are beta males. They're not alphas. I'm not even an alpha. Yahweh Shai is an alpha. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even an alpha. Yahweh Shai. I don't, all that, whatever. Yeah. The point is saying you have a lot of effeminate men and a lot of men that are taking emotions opposed to the word of God. So men have to be like our grandfathers. We have to be mentally masculine. We have to be submissive because we have to learn along with their mothers with the spirit of wisdom. But we can't be so docile that we're not teaching or being aggressive enough to have, or being aggressive enough to not want to teach our children our national. So you women have to have that same mantle that we have of caring about our children so much that you teach them. I asked one woman, I said, you teach them? I asked another brother, I said, brother, you teaching? And I asked myself, it's like, yo, you teaching? Numbers chapter 1, verse 2, we are to take the sum of all of the congregation of the children of Israel after their families by the household of their families with the number of their families, every male by their polls. Now here's the thing, from 20 years old and upward, all that are able to go forth to war in Israel, thou and Aaron shall number them by their armies. Let's look at this real quick. So we're going to open up our handy dandy interlinear. We're going to speak our Lashon, we're going to speak our language, knowing that there is a different type of pronunciation. We're going to use the pronunciation of the Paleo Hebrew, which is also called Lashon Kodesh, as the modern Hebrew say it, but it's pronounced Lashon Kodesh. It's not Lashon Kodesh. It can be. You can call it whatever you want. Lashon Kodesh is the pronunciation we're going to be looking at. All right. Subah. All right. So we have, if you can see the screen, I hope you can see the screen. So we have three characters that are up here. This first character is the Tzah. If you can see it, the one that's not highlighted, it's the T and the Z sound mixed together. Tzah, tzah, tzah. So some people may make a sa, like down here it says Sabah, Like people say, Sabao, Sabao. Yeah, we know what you're trying to say. But if you look at the pronunciation, it shows you right here. It's tza, tza, tza. See? Transliteration, sabah. Pronunciation, tza. So look, the first character is tza. The second character is the bayaf, which is the house. Like right now, I am currently in Bayafia. All right. So the blue one that is highlighted is called the bayaf. Salute. I just heard you come in. All right. So all praise Yahweh so much. Salute to the family members. All right. All right. So salute to the family members that's rocking and joining. So all praise. Hey, shalom, shalom. The water, Mashbukaya. All praise. Con, the water to those that's rocking on a conference call too, man. Salute. So we see you on. All right. So share out. So let's get back to this. Let's learn our Lashon. Let's learn our language and see what the Most High say. Now, the reason why we're doing this is so we can see what this word means, right? So if you know your language, you know what I'm saying, it just opens up everything, right? So Saza, that's Ba, and that's the last character is the character Allah. Now, if you can look on the screen, let me see it. If you can look on the screen, we'll write it out. All right. So let's exit this. So there's 3 characters that are right there, right? Taza, Bayaf, Tza, Bayaf, and Allah. All right. So watch this. Let's change my screen, edit. Virtual background. Let's turn that off. Let's turn that blur off for a second. All right. Also, I'm gonna pronounce this camera this way just a little bit more. All right. So we have 3 characters, right? So it's Tzabah, all right? It's the Tzah, the Bayaf, and the Allah. All right. So we have now I hope everybody can see that. All right. So these are the 3 characters that you're looking at. You're looking at the Tzah, you're looking at the oh, you know what? I didn't do that right. That's a pa. Hold up, my head. Hey, you know what's so cool about your language is when you learn your language, you can see it. All right. When you learn your language, you can see it. All right. So let me do this over. This is a pa. All right. This is the symbol for an open mouth. All right. I need to do this camera different, don't I? Like I got this camera angle weird, don't I? Right? Let's set this up. All right. So like be patient with me, those that's rocking with us on the phone. I'm gonna move this camera, try to do it without breaking my I got that from being in Cincinnati. That's my stuff now, boy. Thanks. Man. The scripture says, Jerusalem, if I choose not thee above my chief joy, let my right hand forget his cunning and my tongue cleave to the roof of his mouth. So we always put Jerusalem first. I will say this. I've been avoiding Cincinnati for decades. I was avoiding coming here for a long time. I was going to an airport or you want to go? No. Fly over Cincinnati. No. Drive through Cincinnati. No. I was avoiding coming here for centuries. But reason being is because I have a bereavement here. But so in the process of most I putting me here, I'm like, yeah, this place pretty dope. Because it ended up reminding me of all the places that I've been. Like, this looks like here, this looks like there. All right, so we got that opened up. All right. So we can be able to see, we're gonna do the screen like this. All right, so here's our word Tzabah. For those of you that's watching online, here's our word Tzabah. All right, Bayah. All right, so here's our word Tzabah. All right, Tzabah. Now this is the word that's right here for armies. Tzah, which is known to be like a fishing hook, which is a complicated thing. I've seen different stuff for this, but what I've learned from the Zaquanium and for my own research, it's a fishing hook. But I can see the complication in that also. Shalom, shalom. Kwame Astrology, to those that's listening online. All right. If you have any questions, if you're online, you have different privileges. So if you're listening on the phone, you have different privileges. Just unmute your microphone anytime, interrupt, and ask a question. All right, grab my attention, because the ones that's on the phone, you know what I'm saying, once I hear you, your question will help everybody else. So the water for building with us. All right, salute. Make sure you please share out the conference call number 2 so you can help others if you want. All right. So Bayat, second character, as we know, is the symbol of the house. And then Alap is a symbol for strength or 1,000. All right. So this is the word for army. Right. So let's write this out. Right. So this is army, but it's also the word that's synonymous with camp. So you have so many Yasha'alim that's speaking negative against the terminology of the phrase camp, not knowing camp is actually talking about a whole nationality. It's talking about your whole culture. So when somebody's saying, yeah, I mean, it's just another epithet. It's another way of saying niggers. It really is. And we watched the progression of the negative speech pertaining to camps and brothers saying camps in a wicked way. Because we was in the Most High had us operating before the phrase camp became negative. So about time it transitioned to these generations, we was like, dang, okay, I see which area you come from, or I see which mentality you submitted to. Camp is your entire nationality. You got tricked just because a bad person or a bad woman, a bad man. Let me say a bad man. All right, because it was because of the men had sinned and fell, and we didn't obey Yahweh. Is the reason that the women and the daughters fell, and that's what the Most High put in our face. He said, because of this, your daughters will be like this, your sons will be, your wives will be like that. That's what he said. Because you worshiped other gods instead of worshiping me. All right. So let's look at this real quick. So Tazabah, all right. Dang, I write Hebrew so much, I forget which direction. Tazabah. Okay, so we go this way. Tazabah. All right, ta, za, ba, and you just break it down into 3 sounds. Just break it down into 3 sounds. All right, so T-A, Z-A, B-A, ta, za, ba, and don't worry about sounding silly. You sound excellent. You sound more silly speaking English. We are currently speaking backwards. If you never thought about it, that's how we sound. That's literally how we sound, because we are the children of the East. So our language goes from right to left, not from left to right. All right. So there's Tazabah real quick on the screen. So if anybody wants to write it down, there's your lost one in your own language. Let's get back to this screen share, and we'll get back to understanding numbers. All right, and camp. All right. Why is it important to understand that? Because you are a part of the entire Machanah. All right, you're a part of the entire camp of Yashar Allah. All right, look at this. The word Tazabah, it means host. It means war. One second. I got to move this bottle out of my way. I got some peroxide blocking my view. I also need to take off this. So, Tazabah. So the Most High said to number ourselves by the Tazabah. Right? Hold on. War, army, battle, service, appointed time, warfare, soldiers, company is used miscellaneously 5 times. The same research that we're doing is the same research that our grandfathers did. We just use concordances. My concordance is over there. But it's so much easier if we can show the people how to do it online. So you can see for yourself. Look, you can see for yourself. This is your nationality. The Most High called us an army. That's what our nationality is. It always has been. Why do you think whenever Israelites, Negroes, Black people, whenever we felt like we're done unjustly, the first thing we do is pick up a chair? First thing we do, pick it. Somebody getting it. That chair game is crazy. We are a nation that tore stuff up. I'm not encouraging violence. Not at all whatsoever. All right, so I had to change the scenery. All right, I'm not encouraging violence, but I am saying this: as a nation, the children of Israel, we have always went to war. Our father Abraham, our father Isaac, our father Jacob, they were all men of peace. But if you bothered Abraham's nephew Lot, you're gonna have a problem. My grandfather Abraham is coming for you with just 300, so we coming to rectify for our family. So we've always been a militaristic society that was called a camp. we were called, hold on, let's see. And then only lately were we broken up and separated as blacks, African Americans, colors, coons, Negroes, porch monkeys, gator baits. My guy. God, I guess. I mean, but I got a I got a deeper sense of what I am. But as a whole, our nationality was called a machanah, a tasabah. As a whole, our nationality was called an army. And that's why it's so important, because we don't teach our children that they're an army, that they should have. This is why honoring your father and your mother is so important again, too. Because you can't teach rank and structure if we don't have structure within the family, within the household, of the mothers and the husbands respecting each other enough that the children can see it, so the children can learn how to follow proper ranking. All right, let's get to it. So we're still on our screen share. All right. Numbers chapter 1, verse 4. No, verse 3. Let's do verse 3 again. From 20 years old and upward, do all that are able to go forth to war in where? In Yasharallah. Thou and Aaron shall number them by their armies. Now, here's what's important. Chill out with all that I'm a man stuff. You're not. You ain't even considered to be able to put these hands up with other men until you until you 40. I'm sorry, I'm not 40. I'm sorry, double 20 is 40. I'm sorry, until you're 20. So at the age of 19 on down, you young men should be at the house protecting Amma, protecting your big sisters. Then when you hit now, you got a beard at 19. Some of you men get beards at the age of 7. Some of y'all some hairy young men. Wow, you got a beard already? Congratulations. But you still got to stay over here and sit at the kids' table. You still can, you can come and play with us. You can come and train with us, but you still can't eat at the big man's table. We got our armor on over here. I know you want to fight with us, baby boo. But you're 19. You got to stay here and protect Amma. You got some more training to do. You got some more experience you got to get. Teaching our Yaladim, teaching our children family structure, and teaching them from 20 years old and upward are all that are able to go forth to war in Israel. Also shows you the abomination of this nation that enslaved my people in plantations, because they had 15, 17-year-old pitney from my nationality with big old hats on. We were ripped from our mother's womb, from mother continent, Yerushalayim, from Africa, sold on slave ships, come over here and be slaughtered and murdered. Underage? The hell is wrong with you? So what we have to do is we have to teach a better standard. Now you ain't ready for that. Prepare your sons, right? So Aaron and Moses, they went throughout and they counted every man. And with you, there shall be a man of every tribe, everyone ahead of the house of his fathers. Stop. This means in every city congregation, we're supposed to have captains, judges, officers, elders. Captains are still supposed to be. Listen, I don't want to hear I don't want to hear any other organizations bringing my people together if it ain't coming from the Bible. Flat out. Because you're not starting with family structure. Outside from the men of the community within our own household, there shall be a man of every tribe, everyone head of his house, of his fathers. And these are the men, verse 5, when Numbers chapter 1, verse 5, and these are the names of the men that shall stand with you of the tribe of Reuben. Now, from Numbers chapter 1, verse 1 through verse 4, it gives you family structure first. What's wrong with Israelites, Negroes? I don't care if you call yourself an Israelite or not. I know what my nationality is. I'm not going to call myself an African American because I'm not going to call myself named after Africanus Scipio's and Amerigo Vespucci, which that actually isn't even true. That's just something Israelites learned how to say. I'm not going to call myself after two different Europeans. My Abba is not a European. My Abba's name is Wayarak Yasharallah. Wayarak, his last name is Wise Counselor. So all of my them, all of my children, you come from the bloodline of Wise Counselor. Regardless of anybody want to say Wise counsel might not always make good decisions, but ask me a question, see what you get. So that's the name. So I can't call myself by any other thing but what my nationality is. So if you don't consider yourself to be a child of Jacob, then be what you are. But I know my grandfathers come from Abraham, my grandfathers were sold over here by way of transatlantic slave trade, on slave ships, brought into another land, treated harshly while we're here, last hired, first fired, murdered in the streets by police, choked out, men, women, children incarcerated, all right, barely given the opportunity to live and still told us, do it yourself, nigga. That sounds like the curses of the Hebrews. I'm from the only nationality that I know that people can't work together and live in the same, and then still trying to figure out why when it's written in the book in front of them. Because our people don't like to study. We don't like to read. God said, do it. We don't want to just hear, thus saith the Lord. So I'm here to tell you, thus saith the Lord. This is how our culture is supposed to be. So Numbers chapter 1, verse 1 through verse 4 says, start with the mashpachah, start with the family. So salute to all of you young men that's in the households. Y'all hold it down. All right. If you need to, I can connect you with the Mashra'ah Yasha Allah boot camp officers, and they can refer you to how you can go through your boot camp training. And it was an honor for me to go through it multiple times. And I encourage everybody else that's coming up in this truth to go to the boot camp, get with the elders, officers, go get some experience. All right. And come back a man. Call me Yasha Allah. All right. And if you're in a local community and you have men that are turning 20, contact these men of Mashra'ah Yasha Allah so they can go through the boot camp too. Maybe we see if they can get a junior boot camp training. That'd be fire. So let's skip down. So Numbers chapter 1 through verse 1 through 4 is start with the Mashpachah. Verse 5 all the way down through verse 16 names off the 12 tribes of Yasha Allah and who our elders are. Who is your captain? I don't care that you can tell me about Mitt Romney. So what? Negroes want to name off to me 8,000 different athletes. I don't care about none of them Kuna rules. I know that Nashan, the son of Aminadab, I know who he is. That's my Zaquan. That's my elder. You know how I know? Because I'm from the tribe of Yehoiada. I'm from the tribe of Judah, baby. How you think we like this? How you think we so fly, man? We can do it. We can make dust look good. We can sit here and be ashy and still be fly. Real spill. Most High put a tribe of Judah. What you want me to do? It ain't my fault. I was born. I just woke up like this. Judah. 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 That's right. And then we have the tribe of Gad. My mama's from Hashapat God. My mother's a North American Indian, pretty little light-skinned lady. My Abba's from the tribe of Yehoiada. So you should know your officers, your elders, your judges. Who are the men that surround you? Who are the women that surround you? If you go to a local Israelite elder, are you going to talk to a person that's going to tell you, thus saith the Lord, or are they going to give you their opinion? Which one is safe for you? It's only your eternal salvation to consider. So Numbers chapter 1, verse 5 through verse 16, it names off the list of the 12 tribes. Oh, it's right there. Just scratch it up in your own Bible. When you get to verse 15, remember, this is a Torah portion recap. We're not reading through the whole thing. You know, Elder Jeremiah and the other elders. Matter of fact, it's the next rotation. So now, Elder Jeremiah, please say to Yah, is the oldest in our community of the men reading the Torah portion. So now we rotate and go to the youngest man. So next week's Torah portion will be read by Gabar, which is the youngest officer. But that man is so fly. That dude is so cool. He got a baby face. He's super handsome, but he like dummy diesel. He like built like a brick, and he like super cool. And he like he got like this back. Yo, that man is beautiful. I love you, I love you, Gabar. So Tribe of Gad definitely building. Looking forward to see you next week's Torah portion here. All right, so these are men of renown. Numbers chapter 1, verse 16. These were the renowned men of the congregation, princes of the tribes of their fathers,
heads of thousands in Israel. Now, the problem is some of you still seeing it like it's way back then, but these men are still here today. I ain't talking about them specifically because they've had their time to live. The scripture says the spirit of the prophets are subject to the prophets. So therefore, you might have a young vine, you might have a young son. And it's like, you too mature, you've been here before. Or you have a daughter, she come out, she a little baby, she's singing all of Aretha Franklin and Patti LaBelle songs. You're like, girl, you got an old soul. You've been here before. All right. The scripture says the spirit of the prophets is subject to the prophets. All right. The point of me saying that is to say, you know, not these specific men, but we do have today men are renowned, men are the heads of congregation, princes that are the tribes of our fathers. The Most High consistently telling us, stay within this. This is a safe place. Your nationality, your genios, your genealogy, your Zerai, your seed, Zerai, your sperm, your sperma. It's the same word for genios, which is the word for genealogy, which is in Matthew chapter 1. The genios, the genealogy, the sperm of Jesus Christ. Booyah! It's in Hebrew, even in the New Testament. I can read. You can't trick me that easy. So the point of saying that is to say, we're told to stay the blood and the sperm and the lineage of our own culture, to teach it to our children always. And then even in the New Testament, Christ's bloodline is taught all the way back to these elders. And I can't believe people aren't teaching this and understanding for themselves. Man, I was swimming in tears on my couch on Shabbat. Had me some cereal, had me some good conversation, slept, played Mortal Kombat, and I mourned because I longed to hear the word of Yahweh and how much information was mixed or brought out. So let's do this recap, and then next time this Torah portion comes around, then everyone will have a better grasp of what we're looking at, and even more. So we are to respect the men of our community, starting with the judges, officers, elders, our fathers, not mothers, right? If we have a disagreement or something like that, you know what I'm saying, we kind of live within that, you know, it happens. The scripture says the two men strive together, right? So let's get this right here. Verse 17. And Moses and Aaron took these men, which were expressed by their names. All you gotta do is read up, right? And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month. You see that? So I called in everybody. I'm in the city gates of Cincinnati. Yo, I blow my shofar in my heart. I need my shofar back. You know that shofar. I need my shofar. I love you. I know you got to put up safe, brother. I need my shofar. I got to come to the loop. All right. If anybody want to travel to St. Louis with me, I got to go to St. Louis, get with Elder Maharka, Army of Israel. I got to pick up my shofar. Whether you're new in the truth, whether you've been in the truth for a long time, whether you're a brother, whether you're a sister, if you're available, let's go to St. Louis. All right. Tonight, Wakanawan, I know we talking about doing that trip. All right. Let me see who else we got. Loopy, you want to meet us up there? You want to meet us in the loop? All right. Who else? All right. So we can do like a couple day event, you know what I'm saying, and head back to our city gates. All right. So the important thing is that they assembled, verse 18, they assembled all the congregations. So there go that word again. They assembled all the Tzaba'ah, the Tzaba'ah, all of the army. On when? On new moon. There's so much information in here, it can make your head swim. So this is a lot. We should be gathering together, not only as families, but as communities. New moon is prevalent. It's right here. Verse 18, it's the second time it's talked about in one verse, in one chapter. First day of the month, and they declare the what? And the assembly of all the congregation, the Tzaba'ah, the army, together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the houses of their fathers. And I know that rings in children's ears. Picking them, never stop asking about your Abiam. Never stop asking about your Abiam, your fathers. Don't even stop asking them. Go and find them. Go and find your Abiam. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You're never too old, young men and young women. All right, especially if you know what I'm saying, if you're an adult and you've been estranged, go find your father and your family. Go minister stuff. All right, so according to the number of their names, from 20 years old and upward by their polls. All right, so the European people who call themselves Jews and are not, but do lie. Like the other day, a young lady, that's Revelation 2:9, Revelation 3:9. Behold, I will make them who say they are Jews and are not. Behold, I will make them, but do lie. Behold, I will make them come and worship you. To know that I have loved you. All right. Thus saith the Lord. So the Ashkenazi, which come from the seed line of Japheth, which are not Shemitic, All right. They go off of the principle of saying, my mama, yeah, my mom's side, and you Negroes got to be careful for that. And a lot of it comes from either animosity, not growing up. Your mom was talking bad about your dad, and now your dad wasn't there, but you didn't know that your mom was a demon supreme, and she actually destroyed your whole family. You didn't know that. You just know you just look up to her and call her mama. Wait till you get older. Whew, I ain't holding nothing back. I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, this what happened for sure. So the point is saying that is to say, you know, when we're looking at how the Jewish nation teaches and how other nations teach culture, they go off of their armonium, but it was never such to be so. If you take an apple seed planted in the ground, the mother is the ground, she is the earth, she is the soil, right? She cultivates, she protects, she brings up, she gives back. She bakes, she's the oven, she's the protector, she's the mayam, right? She's the seed, and we come from the seed, right? So our amayam are, you know, I just go into a praise report on our mother. But the point of saying such is say, when we take that seed and plant it in, like we put something in the waters, it has to come out of the waters. That's why Amma, mother, Amma, two characters, Allah, wa mayam, strength, strong, Amma, strong, Amma. And then mayam, waters, strong, strength, 1,000, waters, Amma. The Most High didn't give man embiotic. Like even when we draw the Hebrew characters, even when we draw the characters from mayam, we have what? We have the flow, we have the ripple of the tides, right? You have the flow up and down, right? But then it does this crazy thing. It comes over like that. You see that? That's mayam. That's one character that means so much. This one character is where the original M comes from. You know, like Mashayach, like Messiah, like Mommy. This is where the M comes from. So this character right here is the flow, the movement of water. But watch this. It's everything that's inside of it too. That's why it comes around like that. So if you have a baby inside your belly, see that's the Amma. This is Amma. Her nipples, her breast, which she feeds from, and inside of the Amma, you have the little bitty Hebrew baby. See, this is you. I'm gonna make a little bitty Hebrew baby. I'm gonna give a big Hebrew head. You all wrapped up. You got your arms around your feet. And you got your little toesies. And then this is Amma's shoulder. And Amma's shoulder come over here. And this is her hand. And she's holding her belly. See how that works? So the mayam, these are her covered breasts. This is her head up here. So Ibadiyah, Hebrew makes perfect sense to me. Hebrew makes Ibadiyah. My language makes sense to me. I know you see it. That's Amma. This is the mayam. Man. So all praise Yahweh. For those watching on YouTube, please make sure you share this out so others can see, because this is for show. Do this for sure. So point of saying such as to say, the Most High says assemble after the congregation of their who? The poles of the house of their fathers. But then you have this word pedigree. So pedigree is I'm Yahweh wa God. I'm Yahweh all day. My mother is the tribe of Gad. My father is the tribe of Yahweh. I'm talking about barefoot Mississippi, talk with the craziest accent, slur, a whole bunch of gold teeth sucking, all of that in the middle of you like, can you please stop? So the point is, if I was raised with them, I would have that Mississippi whole thing, whoopie whoopie whoop. But I don't. I sound like this. I sound like this. I sound like this. So this is my portion. This is my speech. Point of saying such as to say, our pedigrees, all right? Our pedigrees is what is your father? So I might be from the tribe of Yahweh. Your mother, your father might be from the Caribbeans. It's just that they were dropped off here in the Americas. Well, how do you know? Because the families next door and everybody else, they're like different African Americans, where our family, we actually from Jamaica. Okay, well, that's a whole different pedigree of Negro. That's still of the 12 tribes of Israel, but that's the tribe of Benjamin, the tribe of Benjamin. That's the, what I'm saying? You have the tribe of Benjamin, you have Benjamin, you have the Ottawacs, all right? And then you also have the Mexica. So with that being said, you know, we're named off by who our father, and it's not hard at all. I'm not doing DNA and me plus 3. I'm not giving these heathens my nothing. You already got everything. Dang, you want extra? You want me to pay you to give you my DNA so you can tell me who I am? No. I'm not paying my enemy to get. It's a whole Bible right here that's prophesied what would happen to my nationality, and it ain't missed yet. It ain't missed yet. You don't believe me? Go look up them solar flares and see how the sun is cracking. It's so unbelievable. I think people are afraid to really address it. I think it's so unbelievable that the sun is cracking. Entire websites, astrophysicists, astrophysiologists, they are blowing up bigger than rappers because the sun is tripping and getting higher views than celebrities. And people are so afraid, just like the movie, don't look up. Don't look up. Look down, look at your cell phone. Look at everything, look at anything else. But don't look up. Because if you did, you would see that just a few hours ago, you know what? I've been teaching on it. I've been speaking on it. I pray that somebody goes and look it up. All right. Solar mass ejections are real. I'm just giving a light surface because if I started going into it too much, it might turn to something else. Solar mass ejections started happening in 2024 during around the time frame of Tabernacles when the first UFO chariot ball landed at the airport in UK. And Negroes was over here doing all kind of stuff. It's nice on the Isle of Patmos. I can see things clearer. So it started back then. So we're in 2025, going to March, April, May, June. So we're going to so-called June, right? And from then to now, there's canyons that are in the sun. It's throwing off chunks. Like I said, imagine if part of your scab you had a scab and that scab came off, and up under that scab is raw flesh. Well, that's what's happening to the sun. But when that scab actually comes off, it's being blown out, and there's openings in the sun. So these are called chasms, and it's pretty serious. It's pretty scary. So let's get back to this. So Torah portion recap. You know what I'm saying? We're just gonna edify until it's done. If this is too much for you, you know what I'm saying, no worries. This is a revolving door. It's a revolving door. It's nothing for us to sit here and teach until the sun goes down. All right, because there's somebody that needs to hear something. All right, so let's get it. So Numbers chapter 1, verse 18. All right, so we see that, and they declared their pedigrees. So you have to know what your nationality is, your tribe, your lineage, so you can tell it to your children. After their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of their names, from 20 years old and upward by their polls. Now look at this. Everybody sees how it's all capital L, capital O, capital R, capital D, right? Well, all we gotta do is go back and see how it was written. Now we know that the Bible's been changed, it's been convoluted, it's been, you know, all this other whoopie, but don't get into that, man. Not too hard. Just look and see what's the same. If you're looking for a problem, you're gonna find a problem. If you're looking for a solution, you're gonna find a solution. I look for solutions. So right here it says all capital L-O-R-D. Whenever you see that, it's always going to be what's called the tetragrammaton. The tetragrammaton is the 4 sacred characters for the name of the Most High, Yahweh. That's Yah, that's Ha, that's Wah, and that's Ha. Yahweh. You don't have to pronounce it like me. That's the North American Indian in me. Yahweh. But I make sure we pronounce each character because that's how it is. Now, even now in English, you'll see it says Yehovah. It's going to say Yehovah. But that's called Yiddish. That's modern day Turkey and Eastern European dialects mixed in with the continents of Paleo Hebrew. Yahweh is the pronunciation. Yahweh. It's only 4 characters. If you read this in English, you don't even look right. Yehovah. Yeho. Where'd the O sound come from? I got too many questions. I'm in class with my hand raised. I'm getting in trouble. They're like, well, it makes the O sound. Let's just move on. And I'm like, well, why does it make the O sound? What makes it unclean? What makes it? What makes it? I got in trouble a lot because I had to prove to the teacher in the class that the Tasmanian devil was real. And the teacher was like, the Tasmanian devil is not real. I said, oh, yeah? The white lady was being mean to me. The white lady said that the Tasmanian devil wasn't real. One mama came up there with printed out files and envelopes. The Tasmanian devil, wow. The Tasmanian wolf, wow. That woman had to apologize her bond. Shit, my mama had that woman apologize. I said, yeah. So salute to all you Amium. All right. So Yahweh is the word that's here. You can hear the brother singing in the background and saying the name of Yahweh. As Yahweh commanded Moses, so he numbered them in the wilderness of Sinai. Now, if you don't know what Sinai is, let's look at it real quick. The real Mount Sinai, Arabia. All right, we're just going to pull up a couple images. All right. So this is, and you should be able to see on the frame if you're watching online, this is where the Most High gave us the instructions. Now, this is just an image, but this isn't a CGI. This is an actual mountain in Arabia that has a burnt top. That is not a shadow. The whole top of this mountain is burnt. You see that? It's a mountain range. You can't burn a mountain with a lighter. You can't burn a mountain with a torch. There ain't enough propane on the planet. So when we say Yahweh left records, he left proof. Look at this. This is the split rock. There ain't a building in Cincinnati bigger than this rock. And there was millions of gallons of water that poured out of it. How do we know? Because the erosion lines are vertical. Wait. Vertical? Horizontal. My bad. I did it wrong. I had the right word. I had the wrong. So the erosion lines are horizon. They're horizontal, which means that water was shooting forward out of this rock. And then up under this rock, oh yeah, there's water erosion. So where you see it, it's on top of the hill. Guess what? There's water erosion up under it. So I don't care what they talking about. Yahweh proved himself to me, and I'm a simpleton. I'm so simple that this makes sense to me. And then once you go there and you taste the air, and you're like, oh, that really is a sea full of salt. Where did that salt come from? Oh, it came from up there, that big old hill that was set on fire. Oh, you mean that's Gomorrah? Oh, okay, yeah, God real. Never mind. I say, well, never mind, he real. See, once you smell it, once you taste it, it's different. You can't trick me with clickbait, baby. Trick no good here. Watch this. These are the 12 wells that are in Arabia, in the same place where the burnt top mountain is, in the same place where the split rock is, in Arabia. Not in Africa, not in America, in Arabia. America is not Jerusalem. Stop it. So this has already been proven, well proven. It's already been proven. So Mount Sinai is the location. This is the location that we lived at. This is where we're from. If you look on any map, if you go to your Google Images, and you just fly over a country and take pictures. When you get there, get to the ground, take pictures. Your Google Maps will document it. And this is not the location where people are saying Jerusalem is. It's not in America, no ma'am. It's not in the Grand Canyon, no ma'am. It's not in Colorado, no ma'am. There ain't no burnt top mountains on the West Coast. Now it's probably now the Most High set them on fire, but not like this. You know what I'm saying? So, all right. So you have Jebel al Makala, all right, and you have Jebel al Musa, all right, which means the mountain of Moses, all right, and you have Jebel al Laws, all right. It's the same place. This is the Sinai Peninsula. Let's get back in the teaching real quick. This is called the Sinai Peninsula. It's the same place that Jethro, that all of us come from. So us wearing garments, being garmented up, covered it down, head wraps, all that stuff. Don't y'all know that that's more comfortable? It's so much better than not being covered. Like when you wear scarves and head wraps and things like that, it actually protects you from the sun. It keeps you cool. You look good and it keeps you cool. You know, people don't think about that. They're like, oh, I'm only hot with all the clothes on. You sound like a person who doesn't have experience. If you you wear more clothes, you'll be covered up, and the sun will be off of you. You'll be breathable. And then when you take them off, so you can always put on more clothes, or you can always take off clothes. You can't put on more. So if I'm out somewhere and I got on a garment that's covering me down, well, I know it's going to be cool in the evening. What I look like being a person that's cold out in the evening. You know what I'm saying? So we can always dress according to our culture. This is where we're from. All right. And this is where the Most High numbered us. This is where it's called Mount Sinai. All right. So this is Mount Sinai. All right. So let's get back to this real quick. All right. So Numbers chapter 19. And look at this right here. This is a verse 20. You see this pilcrow? All right, so this pilcrow means the subject matter is about to change, okay? So now what we're going to see is we're going to go through the list of the names of the 12 tribes of our lineage, the 12 tribes of Yasharallah, 12 tribes of our forefathers, no matter what Shapat, no matter what tribe you're from, it's named off here, all right? So let's go to this. Let's see. So verse 20, it says, and the children of Reuben. Look at this. Here's another pilcrow, verse 22. The children of Simeon. Now, if we look for the next pilcrow, does everybody know what a pilcrow is? Right? Everybody know what a pilcrow is, right? So if we look at the next pilcrow, what will we see? Mashapat. What tribe will we see at the next pilcrow? All right. Here's the pilcrow. What's a pilcrow? The reason why I keep saying it is so you can memorize it. If I say any one thing, I can make you memorize. If I say any one thing about 5 times back to back, I can make you memorize. I could lie to you, which I wouldn't do, but I could tell a lie 5 times. And some people will believe it. But you can tell, yeah, I was a victim of that. The reason why I said that. I was a victim of that. I was a habitual deceiver back to back. And I was like, why does this Negro keep saying deceiver? Like, why does he keep saying deceive? Why does he keep? I've never heard deceive so much in one conversation. I was like, what is wrong with this dude? He was trying to paint a picture of me. So, so I learned that tactic, But also, you can help people memorize, all right? The symbol, here, let's share this screen so everybody can see. The symbol, and it shows what it looks like, it's called a pilcrow. It's a paragraph mark. Paragraph sign, paragraph symbol. It is a typographical character used to denote a paragraph. So anytime you see this in your 1611 King James Bible, which we don't have any J's primarily in the 1611 King James Bible was produced before the 11th J was invented. All right. So we want to practice reading older books. We want to study our Encyclopedia Britannica edition, the first from the 1600s. Oh, thank you, Father. Oh, the apple didn't break. I would have been heartbroken. All right, so I wouldn't have heartbroken. I wouldn't have lived at this point. So this book is called the Encyclopedia Britannica edition first. All right, if you want to look up information, all right, which I suggest everybody get you an old dictionary, get you a super old dictionary, super old book, but it can find one before the 1700s. All right, so yeah, this is my go-to. This is one of my go-tos, one of my Bible companions, along with Flavius Josephus and Antiquities of the Israelites. You got to know the history of the Israelites, the Hebrews, right? Black history all day, baby. All right, and along with our last one is what's we're going to be reading from this today, what's called the War Scroll. All right, this is called the Judean Discovery Scroll. It's called the War Scrolls because it talks about the Tazabah. The War Scrolls teaches us about how we were in the Tazabayim of Yahweh, in the armies of Yahweh. And what does that break down to? That breaks down into the word camps. It's right here. So stop letting people that had bad experience in their own life be like, I don't mess with them camps. Them Hebrew Israelite camps. Listen, they had a bad experience with a person that's a part of a camp. The word camp is Tazabah, it's army, it's Machanah, it's family, it's church, it's congregation, it's Jacob's children. I'm sorry you had a bad experience in your nationality, but that's just called being alive. So a pilcrow is commonly used as, pilcrow. Let's look at what pilcrow means. And the reason why we're going to do this is because when we go back to reading our old Bible, you have to know what the typographical marks are so you can understand it, right? So the pilcrow is a sign in the Greek paraphos, which is a horizontal line in the margin of the text. I had seen a semicolon today. I was like, which one is that? I got all nerdy. I was like, which punctuation marker is that? You know what I'm saying? Aqua, she was all cool. She's like, yeah, that's a semicolon, baby. I was like, I get you, man, get you. But yeah, so nerd stuff, cool stuff, right? All right, so we see, in short, the pill crow serves as a visual clue mark, uh, paragraph, and aids in the organization and the readability of written material. In other words, it lets you know what the subject is about to change. That's what it is. So let's go to back to Numbers chapter 24. So we see Numbers 24 says, of the children of Gad, right? So boom, if you're from the tribe of Gad, you'll learn about the tribe of Gad right there in North American English. Of the children of Judah, there's our pill crow in verse 26. And as you'll see, if you're looking on screen, it just skips down. So verse 26 and 27 is about Judah. Verse 28, where our pill crow is. All right, 28 and 29 is about Issachar. Verse 30, all right, and 31 is about the tribe of Zebulun, right? Zabalawan. Let's say them in our native tongue, Zabalawan, right? And then verse 32 is about Joseph, Yahwasap, Yahwasap, Yahwasap. If you know anybody's name is Joseph, hey Joe, hey little Jojo, hey Jody, Joe, hey Joey. That's Yahwasap, Yahwasap, Yahwasap. Hey Shalom, Yahwasap, Mashalom Ka'ak. Peace, Joseph. Hey, what's up, Joe? How's your peace, bro? Verse 34, we see our pill crow right here. The pill crow shows you where the subject changes. So if you're looking for the tribe of Manasseh or Manasseh, you can find verse 34. If you're looking for the instructions of the generations after the families or the numbers of the tribe of Benjamin, Banyamyan, you can find them in verse 36. Verse 38 is the tribe of Dan. Verse 40, the children of Ashar, Asher. 42, the children of Naphtali. And verse 44 ends it off. So I'm only going to read the last tribe so you can see, because each one of the tribes, it said the exact same thing. So that's why I'm highlighting and we're screen sharing, because each one of the tribes, their verse said the exact same thing. Well, not the exact same thing. It gave their number. So it gave the about them, and it says this is what their number was. So instead of reading all that, what we did was we introduced the tribes. I showed you where to find it, and then here's what it says. Of the tribe of Naphtali, we're in the book of Numbers, chapter Ahud, verse 1, chapter 42. Excuse me, chapter Ahud 1, verse 42. Of the children of Naphtali throughout their generations, after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of their names, from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war. It said this about each one of the 12 tribes. So we see that the men are of the age of 20 on up. And each one of them, each tribe has a number. So what is your number? What's your number, homie? What's your tribe? What's your number? That's a code, huh? What tribe you from? What's your number? Who's your captain? You're saying, don't tell me about who your favorite basketball, football player is. Who the captain of your camp? What tribe you from? Let me check your pedigree, homie. You don't act like my nationality. You sure you from around here? I don't know, man. This is on 17, man. I don't know, man. On 17. What's your pedigree, homie? Right? All right, so Numbers chapter 1, verse 44. These are all those that were numbered, which Mashah wa Aharon, Moses and Aaron numbered, and the princes of Israel. You see that? So we have princes of Israel. Stop thinking like the Western way. A prince is just an elder officer. You in charge. What they say on that show? They say, you got the juice now, man. You got the juice now. That's for us old people. We understand now, right? You got the juice now. Like, what? It wasn't. Don't worry about it. That was before y'all's time. Hey, you got the juice now, man. All right, my bad. Let me get off my old school quick. Yeah, I'm old, boy. I was watching that. I was like, no. Bishop coming. Bishop. Whatever, man. So let's get back to it. All right, so princes. So numbered, and the princes of Israel. So you are a, look at this. Look at this. Here's our Lashon, here's our language. Nashaya. We have the Na. Let's write out everybody out. We have the Sha. We have the Ya and the Ah. Right? We're going to open up our handy dandy understanding. I pray everybody can see that. All right. All right. So we have, if you look down here, it says Nasi. Nasi how people say it, but we have to pronounce it how the characters are. Na-sha, ya. Na-sha, ya. Na-sha, ya. Na-sha, ya. Na-sha, ya. All right. So Na-sha, ya, it means what? It means a prince, a captain, a chief, a ruler, vapors, governor, chief with clouds, and a prince. That's beautiful. One lifted up, a chief, a prince, a captain, a leader. Nashaya. So in our nationality, in our culture, yes, we listen, we respect the elders, we respect the. I'm gonna tell y'all like my father told me. He said, the teeth and the cheek might fall out, but they still get back together because they gotta work together. I was like, what? He's like, chew, like, just keep living, you'll see. He was like, the tongue and the teeth might fall out, but they still got to work. I was like, the tongue don't fall out. I was stuck. I was like, how does the tongue fall out? I was like, okay, I can see the teeth falling out. What my Abba was actually saying was that sometimes you might bite your cheek and it hurts. That's what he was saying. Sometimes your teeth in your cheek will fall out. You want to talk about fall out? He's like, they'll fall out. Sometimes you be talking, moving, like, I bit my tongue. How did I do that? My tongue and my teeth are in the same face. They're in the same head. Why would they fight each other? Why would my teeth cause my tongue pain like that? Why? Sometimes you bite your tongue. You didn't mean to, and it hurt. But over time, it heals because they still have to work together. And it'll be like this with siblings, too. All right. Numbers chapter 30. Oh, I say Numbers chapter 30. I'm going off. Why did I say 30? I'm in. Okay, I see what I did. My bad. I see what I did there, guys. My bad. So sorry, guys. My best Gentile boys. Sorry, guys. So let's scroll back down. So Numbers chapter 1, verse 44 finishes off with all of the 12 tribes and who they're numbered, who their elder is, who they're numbered after. So I want my life, I want my children to know who their Zaquan is, who their Abba is, and who's the elders that's over me. All right, government structure. Verse 45 and 46. So all they that were numbered were 600,000 and 3,550. Man, that's an army. Kwam Yasharallah. As a nation, we went through and tore stuff up. These are all men. This ain't young Jack boys. These ain't the ones that's key. These ain't the Kia boys. Nah, these is men that's coming for you as a nation. Now, the Kia boys stayed home. They stayed home in our nationality. They stayed home and they messed with the Gentiles. And then they came back to they operate. That was actually a part of our law. Part of our culture is that we don't mess with other nations to antagonize them. Other nations antagonize and mess with us. The scripture says, surely oppression maketh a wise man angry. We didn't mess with the Hamites until they molested and raped our sister Dinah, which is why you don't let your daughters and your little sisters go places around other men. You women are so simple sometimes with who you trust and allow around your daughters. It's ridiculous. You trust what? Your sons too. I don't trust nothing and or nobody with my picnic them. And it veins, it vexes me every day that they're not in my tangible touch to be able to do. As a nation, as an army, whenever we went through another culture, we went through peacefully. We offered them peace. And the Arabs got this from us. the principle of jihad, going to war in the name of our God, that came from Masha. That came from Moses. We go to war in the name of our higher, in the name of our God, but we come in shalom. But it really is, we come from a militaristic get down or lay down society. I'm not submitting to what you do because you break the laws of my God, which got me in trouble in the first place. I'm not eating that. I'm not doing that. Yeah, I thought about it, but you know, I ain't gonna think about it no more. I ain't doing it. So as a nation, we wouldn't mess with people when we went into the land. We are a militaristic society. Our warriors are to be from the age of 21 up. Now let's read this real quick. Unfortunately, you won't be able to see this as I read it. I tried to find it online before we started this, but I wasn't very successful. Maybe we can try it real quick. Let's go over here. Let's do a screen share. And if you're watching, let me see. If you're watching online, for those of you that are watching online, we can do this. Let's try to get a few words from the chapter because you can always do that. All right, so we're right now reading from the War Scroll. All right, so let's see if we can pull that up. All right. Dead Sea Scrolls, the War Scroll online, page 150. Oops, I guess you wanted to go ahead of me. All right. Hold on, maybe we have something here. All right, so this is real quick. I don't like reading artificial intelligence overviews. I'm pretty sure it's really helpful, but you know, I still like the feeling of digging in and getting it for myself. If you sitting there and just reading it through AI, then you're being fed. You know what I'm saying? You can't be like that. You still have to have an open ruach to let the Holy Spirit teach you. Okay? All right. So make sure you keep that in mind. All right. So we're gonna start with this real quick. It looks like I hope it's the right one. All right. All right, let's start back with this screen share so we can get this up. All right, screen share. All right, so preferably everybody can see this. All right, so this is War Scroll. It says 1 QM, which means Qumran Cave 1. It says description of the eschatology war. So in other words, this is a description of the war of the last days. And there will be a war which is called the war of the sons of God, the sons of light against the sons of darkness. All right, the sons of light versus the sons of darkness. And these are the sons of God versus the world. These are the Israelites. Don't y'all know that the scripture says that even one day we will judge the angels? The scripture says even one day we will judge angels. This is how we're supposed to be able to judge matters amongst ourselves. Which is why you get an Israelite such as myself. And I will get very upset if I see the laws of the Most High being violated. I'm like, yo, hold on, wait a minute. You can't do that. You can't do that. That's wrong. Or have ye not read? Let me show you this real quick. So this is from the War Scrolls. I'm going to copy paste this link so everybody can have it. I believe every teacher should want their student to be better students than themselves. All right, so everybody should elevate. All right, so let's pull this up real quick. I'm going to paste this right here. This is the Qumran Caves. All right. All right, so here's the link right here. If you want to pull it up yourselves, it will be a great benefit to you. I'm going to change this view because I want you all to see all the screen. I don't want you all to see. Let's see. There we go. All right, I don't need to be seen. All right. So there we go. So if you're watching online, you should be able to see. All right, and here's the link for it. All right, here's the link so you can come and read and research this for yourself. Now, here's where I got to put myself back on screen. Haha, tricked me. So this, so here's the Sapar. This is the book that we're reading from. All right, all right. You see that right there? What does that say? That says what? That says camps. That says camps. You let somebody, and it's understandable because if you say any one thing 5 times or more, you can make a person solely believe it. Sure can. So I understand how some of our people got caught up in speaking negatively against our own, but there's got to be somebody to show you to give you the chance to bring it back. Camps aren't bad. People in the camps. Just like the churches. When we went to church wasn't bad. It was the people in the church. The book ain't bad. It's the people that's holding the book. This is column 7. It says the recruitment of the age of soldiers. And the men of the army shall be from 40 to 50 years old. Of the commissioners of the camps shall be from 50 to 60 years old. You see that? The men of the army shall be from 40 to 50 years old. Watch this. The men of our nationality ain't supposed to be busted and disgusted and broken down. You're not. You're supposed to be healthy. You're supposed to be vivacious. All right? You're supposed to be ready to go to war at the drop of a dime. You got to be ready to defend your family. You can't be like that if you're unhealthy. And I'm going to say, just like I was talking to one of our Akwati on how the Most High gave us the spirit of wisdom, you know, living a primarily 80%, you know, saying 90, 70, 90%, I guess, you know, vegetatious diet. I don't know if that's a real phrase, vegetatious. How you living, brother? I'm living vegetatious. I'm feeling real vegetatious right about now. I just want to bite a second. No, but Jimmy John's got a real good unwich. I don't like eating bread. I'm unleavened. I love living unleavened. All right. So Jimmy John's has a very good vegetatious unwich wrap where they'll give you a wrap with no meat, no bread. You know, it's amazing. You know what I'm saying? So then I started going to Kroger's. I was like, I'm just gonna buy a head of lettuce and put everything in it. It's the exact same thing. Go buy a head of lettuce, take a couple layers off, put everything in it. So anywho, I put cornflakes in mine. I was like, I'm gonna do a head of lettuce. I've got everything I had in my refrigerator. I was like, what I got? Cottage cheese, orange marmalade, cornflakes, salt and pepper. Put whatever I had in there. Old pickles from last Passover. But it works. All right, so back to it real quick. All right, so when we're reading about the sons of light and sons of darkness, this is a great precept to go along with the scriptures of Numbers chapter 1. All right, so Numbers chapter 1 is showing us that the men of the army should be from 40 to 50 years old. The commissioners of the camps, see that? Camps, shall be from 50 to 60 years old. Now, what is a commissioner? These are the Zaquani, the Adawan, the advisors, right? Watch this. The officers shall be from 40 to 50 years old. Guess what? I'm an officer. I'm 45. Oh, praise Yahweh. He let me see the age of 45. So this means I'm not in the same category as the Kia boys. This means that when they see Unc, hey, Shalom, Unc, hey, Shalom, nephew. Because one of the little homies, hey, he was like, hey, what's up, OG? I was like, dang, homie. Like, what you mean, OG? I was just out here with you on it. Stomping the yard. I was doing all that. He's like, yeah, but you got silver hair. You were OG. I was like, dang. I said, Shalom, nephew. So in our nationality, in our family government structure, again, we are a militaristic society. So when going to war, our old men, the men of war, from 40 to 50 years old, the commissioners of the camp shall be from 50 to 60 years old. The officers shall be from 40 to 50 years old, and all those who strip the slain, plunder the spoil, cleanse the land, guard the arms, and he who keeps the provision, and all these shall be from 25 to 30 years old. No youth nor woman shall enter their encampments from the time they leave Jerusalem to go to battle until their return. No one crippled, blind, or lame, or who has a permanent blemish in his skin, or a man afflicted with loneliness of his flesh. None of these shall go with them to battle. All of them shall be volunteers for battle, pure of spirit and flesh, and prepared for the day of vengeance. Any man who is not ritually clean in respect of his genital, or genitalia, gentile. I want to say Gentiles. I want to say it's not respectably clean in case of his Gentiles. His genitalia is, gentile. on the day of battle shall not go down with them into battle, for the holy angels are present with their army. There shall be a distance between all their camps, and a latrine about 2,000 cubits, and no shameful nakedness shall be seen in the environs of all the camp. So what we just read real quick was a precept in the Qumran caves that was found written in Paleo-Hebrew, not modern Hebrew. Paleo-Hebrew, which is the Lashawan, the Anya Wakol Mashpacha Amar, which is the language that me and all my family say, is the same Paleo-Hebrew that was found scratched in the sides of church pews by slaves in the South. I don't know what's wrong with Negroes. I don't know why they don't want their nationality. It boggles my mind. Maybe I should have went to high school and got a diploma. Maybe I would have been smarter. Maybe me not having a, I don't know. But what we just read was a fragment from a book that's older than the Bible. And it pertains to the people of the Bible and how we operate as a nation. Now I'm gonna read it from this context because this book is gonna word it different because it's a little bit older. So I'm gonna word it different. So let's read this. It says, "The men of the army shall be 40 to 50 years old. The inspectors of the camps shall be from 50 to 60 years old. The officers shall be from 40 to 50 years old. The despoilers of the slain, the plunderers of the booty, the cleaners of the land, the keepers of the baggage, and those who furnish the provisions shall be from 25 to 30 years old." So let's go backwards. Let's do reverse engineering. So at the age of 20, you're able to come into the camp of Yasha'al. You're able to come into the men of war. But you're not able to come out here to war until you're 25. Now, when you're 25, after the elders, after Zaquan Maharaka, after Zaquan, all these elders, and Zaquan Barak, and all these elders, and Zaquan, Eliphaz and Eliyahu, all these elders that's in their 50s. Don't you know a man at the age of 50 with experience in fighting is a dangerous man? Just us without having experience. First of all, we the tribe of Yahweh. A lot of us are Yasha'alim. So we got handles, hands, works in ourselves. We will jump on you like a Hebrew spider monkey. Some of us will pounce on you like a ravenous lion. Some of us, like tribe of Benjamin, will pounce on you like a wolf. And some of us will not even put hands on you. We'll just outthink you. That's all we got to do is we can outbrain you. The point of saying such is to say at the age of 50, you have more experience. These hands is more calloused. You got some more scars. You can handle that cut a little bit differently. That ain't going to bother you as bad. So at the age of 50, our fathers was out here whooping heads and keeping our family safe. Thank you to you elders, men of Yasha'Allah, for your services. Salute to all of you elder men of Yasha'Allah. Thank you for what you do for others. Kwam Yasha'Allah. Salute to all the elders. So then you get down to the age of the despoilers of the spoils. What does that mean? That means after the elders that went through and whooped everybody, not for no reason, we're not bullies. We're just trying to get home. We're just trying to get to. That's the objective. We've been trying to get home for over 400 years. That's just on this side of captivity, not even including our time frame in Jerusalem. This has been one long trip trying to get to the promised land. This has been one, even when King David and when King Solomon had our rulership, when King Joash had our rulership, which I believe he became king at 7 years old. Even when they had rulership, we all knew that this wasn't our final destination. Yeah, we're here for right now, but you know what I'm saying? We're going to get kicked out and we have to come back later. They knew it back then because it was written back then. So this has been one long journey just trying to get home. So what's your story going to be? Man, I'm scared to go back and read. I don't even like old. I'm so cringy, old videos and stuff myself. I'll be like, ew, ooh, oh, ugh. But everything we've done and said is written down in the heavens. So let's go forward with this real quick. So this is the age of the soldiers, right? So the spoilers of the slain, the robbers of the spoil, you know what I'm saying? The ones who collect the booty, the ones who ran the pockets. Let's speak normal. The ones who not normal. Let's speak modern Gentile, you know, inflicted backwards and misunderstandingly. All right, let's talk a little bit slow. So the ones who robbed the bodies and who ran down on them boys, you know what I'm saying, who upped the pipe and, you know what I'm saying, gave them boys the ooh up, the willy whammers, you know what I'm saying, and made sure they had nothing left, right? Them was the ones that was like 20 on down. 25 and on down. Now, 20 plays. Let me read again. It says, the despoilers of the slain, the plunderers of the booty, the cleansers of the land, the keepers of the baggage. So that means when the elders went to war, like, y'all got all the stuff. You my armor bearer. You my armor bearer. You carry my weapon. You carry my shield, little homie. You fight with me. I teach you how to fight. You my armor bearer. You the keeper of my baggage. Those we weren't the same age bracket on that. It's a young man following structure. This woman said to me something about a child learning to pee from his father standing outside, and I gave up. I almost spit on her name because I knew that she had no integrity on care of how her son is going to be raised in the future. If you think all the father has to offer is teaching a child to pee standing up, you are a demon, and you have no social concept of how children are supposed to be raised with their fathers. Just perpetuating the same generational curses. And what's even worse is they have fringes on when they do it. Have on fringes, act like a whole heathen. Makes no sense, man. Especially when we're looking at how the cultivation of our nation is supposed to be. The scripture says a wicked woman tears down her house with her own hands. Her own hands. They can't pull back. They don't know how to stop, and they'll destroy their own children. But the day is coming to where new mentalities, new communities, men and women that's going to fear the Most High for the sake of not only their own salvation, but for the sake of their children's salvation. How many years do people waste? How many years do they look back and waste and then expect rewards for it? At the age that young men are at now, they should be learning who they are so they can become what they need to be. Too much time wasted. But we could be teaching our lives, our children, their culture. So the Most High told us in this week's Torah portion, Most High told us in this week's Torah portion that when we went to war, that we not only would have our ensigns, which means even today, you know what I'm saying, you have gangs that have whatever, Vice Lord, Blood, Crip, you know what I'm saying, you have all the gang signs. Well, guess what? These things aren't new. These things come from the Bible. In this week's Torah portion, the Most High told us to set up our flags with our own colors, by our own tribe, by our own stones, by our father's lineage. Dang, blood, that makes sense to me. Hey, blood, don't that make sense? Hey, blood, ain't we all red flag over here? Yeah, you know, the tribe of Judah, they right up there. Them are brothers. You know why, blood? Because brotherly love overcomes our destruction, blood. Ain't that what the acronym for blood is? I guess somebody ain't blood right. Some of these bloods ain't blood right because brotherly love goes out throughout your nationality. Dang, yeah, it is. Yes, it is. So when we go over here to the blue side and we see their ensign and their flag, now imagine this. You might be thinking locally. I'm thinking time, space. Imagine this, blood. We on our side of the tabernacle. Which one of the 12 tribes colors is red? Which one of them got the red stone? Well, that's not, we happy for that because we know Yahweh, Judah, they stone is this, they color is that. And for Judah, they believe in community, they believe in revolutions, they believe in progress, crip, community, revolution, in progress. Rip. So all of this is biblically based. It's not random that the Hebrews that was sold into slavery captivity didn't pick weirdo colors, the rainbow colors for the flags, for the gangbangs. That's not a weirdo color. That's a color actually showing that the Most High said he would never destroy the earth with water again, and the heathens took it and polluted it. But when Raymond Washington, when Tukey Williams, when the elders of the blood sects and the vice lord sects, they all used biblical colors: red, blue, purple, and gold, black. All of this is in this week's Torah portion. It's gangs, it's camps, it's nationality, and my people is so separate. What's wrong with you? I can't get down with you on you trying to get me together on business, finance, and you don't even know how to be my neighbor. You don't even work. We don't even worship Yahweh together. You mean to tell me that I'm going to be resting all Shabbat, and I'm going to be worshiping the Most High all Shabbat? And you going to be doing what, brother? Your ass going to be at the factory, son. So until all of us, which we can do, get to the place that, hey, bro, I love you, man. What are we doing for the Shabbat? Hey, sis, what's up for the Sabbath? That's one of the first questions I ask people when I first meet. What's up with the Sabbath? I'm trying to see where you at. What's your walk like with the Most High? I'm going to copy this and I'm going to share it with everybody. The reason being is because I want you to see it for yourself. Each one of our banners and flags, these are what they said on them. This is what Europeans took from you whenever you were sold into slavery, captivity. This is what you did not know, but the other nations do know. I don't believe in hiding information. Now, I will hide wisdom. I'm not going to give all wisdom to everybody. I'm not going to cast my pearls in swine. So hold back a little bit, as Big Chief said. Right? So I want to copy this, and I want to share it with you, because each one of the tribes, we have a name after our on our banners. We are the sons of light versus the son of dark. This week's Torah portion was so fire. It was ridiculous how it didn't get promoted. We're going closer towards the end times, the last days, etc. All these good, crazy things. And people still don't believe Hamashiach is coming. You don't believe that the Messiah is coming? All these volcanoes popping off like pimples around the world. You don't think nothing? All right, cool. No sweat. All right, so let's get back to this real quick. All right. So this is extra credit and fun information that we're bringing out as far as the Dead Sea Scrolls, because I know a lot of us haven't seen it. I have. We've read it. We've seen it. I want to share it with you because it'll help you to, it'll help you to get more, right? So look at this. This is the deployment of the cavalry, is what this is called. All right. Now this is after we go out to war. Okay. 7 rows of horsemen shall also take portion at the right to the first on the battle line. Their ranks shall be positioned on both sides, 700. Does anybody play chess? 700. Horsemen on one side and 700 on the other side. 200 horsemen shall go out with 1,000 men of the battle of the infantry, and thus they shall take position on all sides of the what? Of the camp. The word camp is everywhere. We're supposed to be covering each other. We're supposed to be fighting for each other, fighting with each other, not fighting each other. And somewhere down the line, oh, I remember Mr. Hebrew 1 made it popular to start speaking against camps. Our brothers that was in St. Louis, they start calling us names. Alphabet boys. I'm like, why are they talking about themselves like that? I was like, oh, that's because they're out of the loop. Oh, the brothers in St. Louis was on an island by themselves and they weren't receiving information. They were just talking about other. Oh, I get it now. But now I pray and hope that just by the same way of edification of the Lord, that they have a higher understanding of the word camp. Tzibah. It's our entire nationality. So don't let one foolish man or woman have you accidentally slandering all of Jacob's children. Because you might not like my sister, you might not like my brother, but you're not about to come against my whole family. The total being of 4,600 men and 1,400 cavalry for the entire army, arranged for battle line. $50 for each battle line. The horsemen with the cavalry and the men of the entire army will be 6,500 to a tribe. A cavalry that go out to battle with infantry, shall ride stallions, swift, responsive, unrelenting, matured, trained for battle, accustomed to hearing noises and seeing all kinds of scenes. Those who ride them. Now watch this. People ask me about all kind of things pertaining to our culture, our nationality. Why do this? Why do that? I want to show you. Those who ride them shall be men capable in battle, trained in horsemanship, to the range of their age from 30 to 40 years. Now, what are we seeing? We're seeing you can be in the army, but you're not a horseman until you get to this age, baby. This, I love our culture, and it befuddles me how people want to talk about so many different things opposed to just ours. I can go into any subject that a person want to go into and stay in my same nationality. It's ridiculous. I can go in any politics anybody want to talk about and still be talking about my culture. Capable men in battle, trained in horsemanship. I got to step up my horsemanship game. Men of Israel, never go horseback riding with no drawers on. Don't do that. Don't go horseback riding in some boxer shorts and some gym shorts. The horse riders and trainers, they're going to laugh at you, especially if you certain caliber of men. Don't you ever get on one of those hard leather saddles with iron or metal mixing them, and that horse is going up and down like that. Now imagine this, man. You sitting on a horse like this, and the horse is going up and down like that in between your legs. You see the visual? Don't do it. So be skilled in horsemanship. I ain't got nothing against brothers who wear skinny jeans if they ride horses. You know what I'm saying? I've just recently started wearing skinny jeans. You know what I'm saying? So I be fringed up with my skinny jeans. You know? I'm like, yeah, I'm 50 and my skinny jeans fit. I'm 50. I don't got the muffin top on my skinny jeans. All praise. So anywho, but I did a little while ago, a couple months ago, boy. I ain't had the muffin. I had the daggone. I had the cake top, boy. I put on some skinny jeans like a couple months back. Y'all didn't see. I would have never let. I just wanted to see. I was like, what is this gonna be like? So then I put it, boys, on. I was like, oh, this is terrible. I was like, oh, my life is in shambles. I'm so fat. I slid the mugs on the other day. I was like, this ain't bad. Okay. All right. Now I got to ride a horse. All right. So those who ride them shall be men capable in battle, trained in horsemanship, the range, which means you should know how to use firearms, be ambidextrous if possible with shooting, and their ages from 30 to 40 years. The horsemen of the army shall be from 40 to 50 years old, and they. Now, here's the part where this is a missing fragment. So if you see this and it's got the period, that means a fragment of the scroll is missing. But look at this: helmets and greaves, carrying in their hands, and round shields and lances, 8 cubits long. So this was something that really encouraged me because, you know, Anya being Yashallah, even the Israelite, the son of Israel, I believe in wearing greaves. I have armlets. I have greaves that I wear. I go places, I have my armlets on all the time because I have this mentality of I'm a son of the East. I wear leather greaves. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's one situation or another, you know, the objective is to show what my nationality is. So, with the sons of light and the sons of darkness, what you might not have had known or picked up on is this week's Torah portion. So if you ever hear Israelite out there, yeah, we are sons of light. We are sons of light. We're not, you're the sons of light because we're the sons of God, not because of anything that has to do with, you know, just the lunar phase exclusively. You know what I'm saying? All right, it says, let's read on. No youth nor woman shall enter their encampments from the time they leave Jerusalem to the time until their return. No one crippled, blind, or lame, nor man who has a permanent blemish on his skin, or a man afflicted with ritual uncleanliness of his flesh. What that means is if you came into the army of the Most High, if you had a disability, you weren't accepted. And that wasn't to hurt your feelings. That was to keep you and everybody else safe. All right. Let me get a real good example. All right. Let's get this real quick. I'm gonna pull up a visual. Oh, I'm on the wrong keyboard. Oh, Okay, so we're gonna use it real quick and just for your viewing pleasures. All right, I do not own the rights to any of this, but I do want to show you this. All right, for those of you who don't know, the movie 300 is based off of a real historical event. Okay, so let me pull this up. Spartans, Laodicea, 300 Israelites. So the Laodicea, we're not going to use AI. All right, 300 Israelites versus 300 Spartans. Yeah, sounds good. Gideon's dog, like no, Gideon. All right. So we have the whole example of Gideon, right? Which is an example that's used in the Bible, right? Now we also have, hold on, let me see this. Mark Miller, 300. Now this is what you want to get. You want to get this comic book right here. This is the original 300, not the actual 300. You know what I'm saying? But before the movie came out, this is what the movie was based on. Here, let me show you. The movie was based on this book by this author named Mark Millar and Frank Miller. My bad, Frank Miller. All right. Now the cold part about it is Frank Miller, when he grafted this, look at what he did. He made the Israelites black. No mistake. When Frank Miller put this together, they made the Hebrews to be the Spartans because we are. This is King Leonidas, the same one that's like, this is Sparta. And he kicked the dude off of the well. Yeah, that's him right there. That's the Negro King Leonidas. Look at this. This scene. This is one of my favorite scenes. I'm saying it's a scene, but what happened is this Spartan right here, he had messed up. He was a young man. He had dropped his shield or something like that. King Leonidas grabbed the boy by his locks and slammed him to the ground. Wow! It was like, now pick up your shield. This was all Negroes, North American Indians, Puerto Ricans, Cubans, Dominicans, African Americans. And this symbol on the shield is not an arrow. It's a symbol for Laodicea. Laodicea, hold on. Laodicea Spartans. Y'all some haters. I did not say Laodiceas. Y'all going off here. Laodicea. Laodicean. All right, I may have spelled it incorrectly. All right, the people of Laodicea. Oh, sure. Oh, wait, let me put a space in that. Yeah, the Laodemonians. All right. So in the Bible, the people of Sparta are called the Laodemonians or the Laodiceans. Guess what? These were Israelites. These were Hebrews that had broke off from our own nationality and they went to go and live in their own zone. So the Hebrew, look at this. I can't listen. These heathens get on my nerves. I ain't gonna stunt. I ain't gonna hold you up an inch. A heathen is somebody just, you know what I'm saying, just feel your heathen. So the original, I need to get that hoodie right there. It's not the Sabbath. I can get this. Ooh, I'm about to get that. Put some fringes with a border on it. No, I'm gonna make my own. Matter of fact, I'm gonna make my own. All right. So Laodiceans were the people of Sparta, a major city in ancient Greece. So whenever you look up the Laodiceans, the Spartans, you're gonna see. Here, let's get it. This is the best thing you can do. All right, not AI, Google, Booyah. Go to books. Go to books. All right, go to books. Even in the Apocrypha, all right, even in the Apocrypha, we wrote letters to the Laodiceans to come and help us to go to war. We wrote letters to them to help. Hey, listen, the Romans are invading us. Hey, we need y'all to come back and help us. So that whole movie 300 and all that stuff, yeah, that was Israelites that was going to war. That was Hebrews. So Frank Miller in his book, he actually drew us as being how we are. Negroes with locks and dreads. This book was out before the movie came out. North American Indians, Negroes, Hispanics are the original 300. The arrow on the shield stands for Laodicea, which was a province that the Israelites lived in. Look at this. Negroes with locks. We don't have to make up stuff. We don't have to make the scene fit. We don't. So let's get back to it real quick. So when you're looking at the Dead Sea Scrolls, the Judean Discovery Scrolls, What you see is the instructions from the same nationality of the people that are given to us in the book of Numbers, chapter 1 through chapter 4. The Spartans, the Laodiceans, the Israelites. That's where they got their formation from. All right, appreciate the messages. Boker Tov to you, Boker Tov. Hey, Shalom, Masha, Rashid, King Nellums. Appreciate
you. How much Khan.
Okay, Khan. Appreciate. All right, so that's our message from Brother Rashid, King Nellums. All right. So if anybody would like to, this is what I'll be doing for the next few hours. I'll be recapping, studying, going over this week's Torah portion. All right. We stopped right here at Numbers chapter 1, verse 46, because I just wanted to show y'all about the camps before we even got into this other stuff. If you start the Torah portion and you start your life with researching the history of the African American, don't give me February once a month. I study Black history all week. We study African American, Negro, North American Indian. Did I say that? So-called Cubans, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Haitians. We study that all week. So with that being said, we're going to end this video. Salute the conference call just dropping off. We're going to end this video because when we come back, we're going to come back with Numbers chapter 1, verse 47 on down on looking at the priests. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and do that now. And what we'll do is, let's go ahead and do that now, and we'll end this off with that. So the Levites are now being brought into play. Exempted. The Levites were after the tribe, but the Levites were after the tribe of their fathers and were not numbered amongst them. No matter why. Why? Because the Levites didn't go to war. They went to war, but they didn't have to go out to war and fight with us. Like that, they had a different responsibility. And the children of Israel did according to all that Yahweh commanded Moses, so did they. But the Levites, Numbers chapter 1, verse 53, but the Levites pitched round about the tabernacle testimony so that there be no wrath upon the congregation of the children of Israel. And the Levites should keep charge of the tabernacle of the testimony. All right. At the end of each Torah portion reading, what we do is we say, all that Yahweh has said will we do and hear. Let me show you this thing real quick.
Wise King.
All right. So why is this scene so important? Because this is what we just read according to the Torah. Watch this.
Have the men found any route through the hills to our back?
None, sire.
There is such a route, good king. Just past that western ridge. It's an old goat path. The Persians could use it to outflank us.
Not one step closer. Monster.
Wise King, I humbly request an audience.
I'll skew you where you stand.
I gave no such order.
That's what I'm doing right now. Working on my Spartan abs. That's what I'm doing. Working on my Spartan core. All right. I want y'all to check out this scene, right? Scoop for it.
By serving you in the battle.
Fine thrust.
I will kill many Persians.
You see that? So he's got a good thrust, right? Now you see this? He's got his greaves on. These are his greaves. These are his armlets. It's kind of whack. It's kind of tacky. It looked good, but nah, man. We was strapped up, man. That's tacky. I got armlets better than that. Levitical.
Raise your shield.
Sire.
Raise your shield as high as you can. should have told you how our failings works.
So with that scene right there, that's what was needed. So he's been hiding out, you know what I'm saying? And the reason being is because he has a deformity. So the scriptures tell us no man that has and they made him extreme in this, but if you were an Israelite man and you had this issue, you were not allowed to be in the army of the Most High because you had to be able to raise your shield. All right. So with that being said, I hope that I pray and hope that this helps somebody. This is just a Torah portion recap. Look forward to coming back more. Salute to Elder Jeremiah, Yabrakam Yabashim Shai, and Kwam to Adi Elagim, Anya Habakam. I love you all. Shalom, 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 Anya Habakam. All right, Most High's will, we'll come back with a part 2, next chapter. So, praise. I hope so. We should be able to. I don't see no reason why not. Mm-hmm.